The purpose of this video is to walk you through the assignment sheet for the annotated bibliography. So what I usually do when I go through assignment sheets is I read through the details that are most relevant and elaborate on what it is that you should be doing here. As a reminder, the annotated bibliography is part 1 of the MLA Profession Analysis Unit. So we are doing research for a final paper. Our final paper, and you can check out the details by clicking on the MLA final paper link here, but our final paper for this unit is to make a comparison between what you see on screen in a fictional movie or TV show versus the reality of a profession. So you pick a profession, you pick a fictional movie or TV show, you make comparisons in order to support your thinking on whether what you see on screen is accurately portrayed or not. You're going to do research for that and find out what the reality of that job is really like. And so your annotated bibliography here is the research for that paper. You can look through the course SLOs, but we're hitting on most of the main goals of this of our class with this assignment. So what I want you to do for your annotated bibliography is create an MLA formatted annotated bibliography with all 6 of the following source types. So first, you want to find your primary source, which is your movie or your TV show. Make sure that you pick something fictional, because in order to best make a claim that something's been accurately or inaccurately depicted using your own analysis, you want to look at something fictional. There may be some wiggle areas for this, so if you are really set on picking a nonfiction or a reality show, please come talk to me before you do that. You want to find a source written by an expert in the career field. So first you have to figure out who are the experts in this field. If you don't know already, go to Google, search who are the experts in, and then insert the career field, and then see if you can find some of the content that they've written that might be helpful for you. It could be something they've written. It could even be an interview with them, maybe where they explain what their life is like in the working in the career, or something along those lines that would be helpful for you later on for your paper. I want you to find a corresponding ONET occupation page. So you can use this link, and it's going to take you to ONET Online. And up in the top right corner, you're going to see a search bar, and what you want to do with this search bar is just type in the job that you are planning on analyzing for your final paper. You can click go, and then you can just select specifically what it is that you're going to be working with. Is it kindergarten teachers? Is it secondary school teachers, meaning high school? Are they post-secondary, which means college level English language and lit teachers? So find specifically what type of profession it is that you're looking for, and that will take you to this page here. And this is the page that I want you to cite when you're doing your ONET source, which gives you some information. Sometimes these pages come up very helpful with lots of information like you see here, with the ability to expand and look at a lot more details. And sometimes the pages come up and they look nothing like this and they don't have any information. If you get that situation where you've searched, there's no information on this page, let me know and we'll explore an alternate route for you instead of ONET Online. The other thing that I want you to find, getting back to your annotated bib and looking at this list of sources, is a source from a credible website in the career field. So what you have to do is identify what are some credible websites that discuss this career. Is it something like the American Academy of Pediatrics? Is it a professional organization? Is it a .edu, a .gov site that talks about the job and what it's like? Well, so what is something that's credible? And then what source or page or article from that website could be helpful for you in figuring out, I need to decide if this career is accurately portrayed on screen or not. What's on this website that could help me do that? Sometimes what you're looking for is an application. And I don't mean a job application, but I mean, perhaps you see on screen a teacher using electronic devices in order to educate the students in front of them. And then you go to the credible website in the career field, maybe on teaching, and you notice that there's an article about, 10 effective ways to use electronics in the classroom. That article might not necessarily be discussing this is what you should do if you have the job as a teacher, but it's applying that concept to the profession. So the article is saying, here's how you can use technology. You see on screen people are using technology in the teaching profession, and so you could make the claim that it is accurate because teachers are instructed on the best or most effective ways to include technology. So sometimes you might have to stretch it and you might have to just use your research in more of an application-based writing as opposed to just proof. But that's okay. So don't rule out any sources just because maybe they're not exactly what you're looking for right away. Think outside the box on how you could possibly use a source within your own writing. There are also 2 more sources that are required, but these are open for you to find 2 additional sources of your choosing. Maybe you really liked looking at scholarly articles in our first unit, so you want to explore a scholarly article for research for your paper. Maybe you have some kind of video content. There's a documentary that you are going to watch or that you have watched, an interview with someone on YouTube or something like that. So I want 2 more additional sources, but these could be sources that are something that you've selected. Okay, so an annotated bibliography, as we've looked at before, has 3 components: a citation and a paragraph. That paragraph has two parts: summary and an evaluation. So your paragraph description under each citation must contain a 4 to 5 sentence summary of the source without any quotations, and a 2 to 3 sentence evaluation or analysis of how you plan to use that source. So what do you think you might do with this source when you get to your final paper as you're including it within your own research and writing? What's your plans? Something that's really important here to note is if you find a source and it meets one of these criteria, it's one of these types of sources, but you think, I don't really think I'm going to be able to use this in my final paper for whatever reason, you can definitely still include it on your annotated bibliography as one of your 6 sources, and then you can just let me know in your 2 to 3 sentence evaluation or analysis that you're not going to use the source, and here's why. This is great for you because you can remind yourself of sources that maybe you thought were worth reading but you decided against by the time you finished reading, and it's helpful for me to just kind of see your own thought process as you're working through the research here. There is a link here you can click to go to a recommended structure for writing an annotated bibliography. So at a minimum, each paragraph will be 6 sentences. If you like a very formulaic layout for your writing for something like this, then you can follow this link. Otherwise, you're free to just, as long as you have a summary and an evaluation, you're free to write a paragraph however you see fit. There's not necessarily a page requirement for the annotated bibliography. Most students do submit somewhere around a 4-page document, but you do want to make sure that you have a total of 6 citations and annotations. And remember that these flip-flop, so citation, paragraph, and so on. There's an example annotated bibliography that you can take a look at here. You can see what the structure is like. You can see about the required length or about an effective length for each annotation as a nice hearty paragraph. Make sure that you do have basic MLA format for your page layout. That means your name, instructor, class date, last name, and page number in the top right corner. Use MLA 9th edition when you're citing your 6 sources. Double space everything. That means double space your citations if they're more than 1 line, double space the paragraphs, and make sure that each paragraph does have an indent. There's some other resources that you can look at in order to help you succeed with this assignment. There's some things in the LMS as well as some lecture videos to watch. And there's also some content in your textbook that might be helpful regarding research, MLA format, and also some content on annotated bibliographies. As you are doing your research, it might be helpful for you to use this worksheet that I've linked here to track your research and where it's come from and if you're planning on using it. And that can be a nice way to let yourself know what research you found, what research you still need to find, and just have a guide for yourself while you're doing the research process and probably have millions of tabs open on your browser. We are going to do a submission contract for grading, and we are going to create that in class. So I will post that information once it becomes available after we have created the submission contract. If you guys have any questions or you want to talk more about the annotated bibliography, please let me know, send me an email, or feel free to ask questions in class.